Welcome to the Partnership Path Podcast, a space where your partner management challenges are transformed into insights, where your expertise isn't just recognized, but celebrated. You're not alone on this partnership journey. Whether you're a seasoned pro or just starting out, we're here to guide you, to equip you. Dive deep with us into the world of partner management as we bring you real-world insights, expert advice, and strategies that truly make a difference. Ready to elevate your career? Let's take another step on this journey together.
Hi, John.
Hi, Toni.
And I guess we should say hello to our viewers that are ready to walk the partnership path with us.
Yes, come along on the journey.
Fantastic. So what's our topic for this episode, John?
Yeah, I thought based on some of the conversations I've been having with some of our customers and partners in the last week or so, I thought a good place for us to start would be on this concept of the difference between partner account and a partnership.
Okay. Yeah.
What do you think of that?
Sounds good to me. It does sound good to me because, well, the job title I remember having is partner account manager, which would make you think it's all about the partner account. But I'm guessing maybe that's not the case.
Yeah, look, this is such a foundational element to being an effective channel manager, partner account manager, whatever, that we have to really think about the partnership, this concept of us going to market together with another organization or with multiple organizations. We have to kind of think of it as a separate entity, right? A kind of a standalone entity that we define together so that we can draw boundaries around it, right? I think the challenge that we have as a channel management professional is on one end of the spectrum with partners that we work with, we have kind of smaller resellers or services partners that we work with whose businesses are relatively small. And because of that, we think, we have to help manage their whole business. And that's not really what we're doing. And that's not even what the partner really wants us to do. And at the other end of the spectrum, where we're working with super large ISVs or large multinational services organizations, we think that the partnership is every single practice that they have or every single solution that they have. And that's also not the case. And so the whole idea of this being really specific about the words we use is to remind ourselves that the partnership is a thing that we're doing together. It's not my business. It's not your business. It's our collective go-to-market business. Does that make sense?
It makes absolute sense to me. And my follow-up question to that would be then is, let's say I'm going in to meet a partner for the first time. So you're new into that account. How do you position that with the practice lead, the sales manager, whoever your key contact is?
Yeah, and I think this is the first place in the scenario that you've described, right? This is the first place where we really establish that what we're looking to do is to create that entity. It's not a real entity. It's not a joint venture, but we want to treat it like that. And so we really want to sit down and explore between the two companies how each of us is structured. So for this partnership, for us going to market together, who are the stakeholders that are going to be involved in it? How will decisions get made about from your company and from my company? How are the decision will they be made in terms of the partnership? And where will the funding come from? Right? Like, right. If I look at, a large ISV organization, we may have a different partnership by solution that they go to market simply because their funding model for those solutions is different, or they have different executive stakeholders by solution who are trying to determine how they want to go to market. And so that would drive us to say, well, maybe that's a different partnership. In some cases, it might be by industry. Maybe that's the way our two organizations need to go to market together. Or maybe it's by geography, right? That my partnership in Europe is actually a separate partnership than my partnership in the US because it's different people, it's different decision process, it's different funding, right? So it's really a negotiation between the two organizations to say, well, how are we really going to manage this idea that we go to market together? And should there be more than one partnership, and how should we structure those?
Yeah. So, and I guess you've maybe answered this a little bit. I would be thinking, what are the components of a partnership? And it sounds like it depends.
I actually think it does, right? The big question is, what do each of the organizations want to get out of this concept of going to market together? It's probably a whole nother podcast topic that we could have on, are the strategic partnerships that we think we have actually strategic, or are they really just transactional and sort of convenient, right? And so this is, for me, this definition of the partnership and kind of what the boundaries are and how we're going to define it is absolutely fundamental and foundation to everything else we do. And yes, you're right, it's different almost every time.
And how does it benefit the channel professional and the partner organization to term it as a partnership?
Yeah, so I think there's two things there that are super important. The first is prioritization. If let's say that I'm a partner account manager and I'm working with a very large services organization that has built delivery practices around my solutions. Well, if I do that in a way that says, I'm going to do one partnership across all those different practices, it means that I can't prioritize where I spend my time. But if I create partnerships by practice, it helps me prioritize, well, this one is where I want to focus this kind of effort. Here's where I want to focus this kind of effort, right? I have a much easier path to prioritization. I actually think that's true for the partner organization as well, right? That they can then start to look at, hey, where do we really want to spend our time in this relationship? How do we want to prioritize our resources, our funding, all of that? And so the advantages is, first off, from a prioritization perspective. And secondly, that then leads to an advantage around execution. How do I execute? How do I go to market in a way that's not so overwhelming and confusing? I can have more targeted messaging. I can have programs and initiatives that are much more targeted for both of us. It's not just for one or the other, but both of us can be way more effective when we create those partnerships and are really clear about the definition of those partnerships.
Perfect. It sounds like it makes perfect sense to me. If you are a channel manager, account manager, partner account manager, and your line manager talks mostly in terms of quota, how do you share that partnership message internally?
Yeah, look, this is the job we as channel management professionals get paid to do, right? We're the translators. We're the people that translate what our internal company wants from us into what makes sense in terms of how we execute with our partners. And so that means that even though our manager is coming to us and saying, hey, look, I need this much revenue or I need this much production from this partner account, we have to report back to them and say, yep, totally get that. Here's how I think about that account. There are 3 different partnerships. There's a partnership around this. There's a partnership around this. There's a partnership around that. And I'm going to get to that number that you want by delivering this much in this partnership, this much in this partnership, and this much in this partnership, right? And so that's just our job. It's one of our translation jobs of making sure that we can talk our internal language, but yet create a functional, efficient, effective way to go to market with the partner, knowing that our counterparts at the partner have to do the same thing. They're translating. A big part of, and quite honestly, a big part of any individual contributor job that works with partners or customers is translating, right? We don't expect our direct sales reps to go to their customers and say, hey, listen, this is how much I need you to buy from me this year. Like, Like that would never happen, right? And yet we do that with our partners. We go and say, hey, this is how much you have to sell, instead of sitting down together and saying, hey, how much can we sell together? What's reasonable for us to do together based on the way we define this partnership?
Yeah. And I think actually there's a really, you talk about the translation, there's a really beautiful simplicity in saying, well, let's take a word that's commonly understood, which is partnership. It's something you enter into together to achieve a common goal.
Yeah, that's exactly right. And can't lose sight of that. Yeah.
No. So what questions would you ask the community? I'm thinking about what can we ask people to bring to us? What stories are we looking for from the community?
Yeah, I'd love to challenge the community with these two things. First, how are you defining partnerships in your portfolio of partner accounts? Like, what are the things that you've seen? Let's help the rest of the community be creative by sharing how you define partnership. Is it by solution? Is it by industry? Is it by vertical? Is it by geography? Like, what have you done? And then secondly, what are the challenges that you had in doing it? Like, where did you find pushback from the partner or from your internal management? Where are those kind of common pitfalls that we're all going to run into as we try and execute in this way? Would love to kind of get that conversation going of what's working, what are the challenges, and then we can all talk together about how do we overcome those challenges.
Fantastic. Well, it feels like we've taken a confident step on the partnership path today, John.
We've taken our first step. I'm excited. Thanks, Toni.
Thanks, John. Thank you to everyone who's watching.
Thank you for joining us on the Partnership Path today. Remember, in the vast world of partner management, you have the potential to shine, to become the authority in your field. Don't let the journey end here. Subscribe, reflect, and lead. Together, let's redefine the essence of partnership in today's dynamic partner ecosystem. Until next time,